Hey y'all, hey. I was crying, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not recording this so y'all can see me cry. I'm recording this because I felt like I need to come on here and share my testimony with y'all. So I found an old journal of mine, right? I was like going through some stuff, some of my things, and I found this very old journal of mine. And y'all, I got this journal probably a couple of months before me and Lonnie broke up. And whenever we did break up, y'all, I started writing this journal daily. Like, I started writing my goals for myself. I started writing my prayers to God, like, because I was so heartbroken, y'all. And when I say I was heartbroken, y'all, like, I cried every single day. Lonnie broke up with me September 9th, 2022. I cried from the second he broke up with me, y'all, to October 12th, 2022. I cried every single day. Every single day. Non stop. I cried. I cried. Like, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. Y'all, I cried so much. Like, and at the time, Zaire had to be like a little over one, maybe two. He was two. He had just turned two. So he was so little, and he would be at home with me, y'all, and I would be like making him breakfast. I would fall to the kitchen floor crying. He would come and hug me. Like, y'all, I cried so much that I was like not showing up as a mother. Like, I was showing up, but it was like I was physically there, but mentally I was checked out. But I don't know, something about being a mom is just like crazy because I was still able to show up for my kids. Like, even though I was crying, even though I had tears in my eyes, even though I physically felt like I couldn't do it, I still showed up. Like, y'all, had lost so much weight. But I wrote in this journal, y'all. This journal right here, I prayed to God for like so much stuff, so many goals, cuz I was just like, I don't know, like, this man was my end all be all. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know what is gonna happen for me and my kids, but I know that it's gonna be me and my kids. And I know that I just can't fail. And like, also it was something in me that was just like, well, if he thinks so lowly of you, you need to prove him wrong. So I just prayed, like, I kept praying, like, I asked God, like, I was like, please heal my heart, like, please, like, help me to overcome this, like, because y'all, I was so sad. And I'm not sad anymore, thank God, but I was so sad, y'all. Like, I could not fathom a life without the man that I love. And I was like so sad and so heartbroken and so like I just was not me anymore. And so I was like praying, like every prayer I was like, and at that time, y'all, I had lost my car, and then he broke up with me, so it was like now I have to figure out what I'm gonna do financially because I don't have help anymore, so I have to depend solely on myself. And at that time, I was contracted, so I didn't work because he wasn't home. I had to stay with the kids because his career was more important than mine. And at that time, y'all, I was broke. I had $0 in my bank account. His ex-wife gave me money. Like, I was so broke, y'all. I was so broke. I was broke. I didn't have a car. I was walking Michael to school every day. Y'all, and it was cold outside, y'all. It was cold. Like, it was so cold. You know how cold it gets in Texas, y'all. I was walking Michael to school every day in the cold, y'all. And I was just praying to God every day. And, like, I was just writing there, like, whenever I get back to work, help me to focus on my finances so that way I'm not in this position ever again. Ever, like, depending on somebody or falling back on somebody. Y'all, I hit the, like, once he came back and I was able to go back to work, I had my mom pick up my kids, y'all, and I hit the ground running. Like, within like 2 months, 2 to 3 months, I had a new car. And then my bank account back to where I needed to be, my savings account back to where I needed it to be. And I had started school. He broke up with me in October. I started school January, at the end of January, because my dad passed away in December. I started school. I was like, I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree. Like, y'all, I prayed for all of this stuff. All of this stuff is in this journal. I prayed for it. I said, I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree. Y'all, I get my bachelor's degree in June. I graduated June. I said I was gonna get me a car. Y'all, I saved my money. I was able to get me a car. And then I stayed with my mom for like a year and some change. And like while I was there, I just prayed. I was like, God, put me and my kids in a place that's safe, and like we don't have to worry about anything, y'all. I don't even, honestly, y'all, I don't even think that I could even afford this apartment. Honestly, I went to the apartments next door. It was like $1,700 a month for a 2-bedroom. And I was like, no, I need my kids to have their own space. So I prayed, y'all. I prayed. I came to these apartments, y'all. I got approved like an hour after I filled out my application. That's nobody but God. And hold on. So yeah, anyways, in this journal, I prayed about my loneliness, because at that time I was so lonely. Like, he was my best friend and I had nobody. I had nobody to talk to. I had nobody to go to. I didn't have anybody to understand. And also, I was a mom to 2 kids. I was a single mom again, so I had to figure out like how to just keep it pushing. And all I could do was talk to God, y'all. I just prayed. I was like, please take this loneliness away from me, because I don't want to be lonely. Like, I feel so lonely. I feel so sad, y'all. Here I am, 3 years later, y'all. I do not feel lonely anymore. I'm always by myself, y'all. I do not feel lonely. Like, and I'm sitting here and I'm reading this journal, and I ended up like breaking down and talking to God, because everything that I prayed for, and like, it might not seem like it, like, up until I read this journal, I felt like everything that I was praying for, it was just falling on deaf ears. Like, I felt like God did not hear me, because I want so much more for my life, and I have been working so hard for so much more. And then once I started reading this journal, which I don't even know why, I picked this journal up so I could start praying so I could write a letter to God like I used to. Because I felt like I was stagnant or whatever, and I felt like I just wasn't reaching my goals fast enough, y'all. After I wrote my letter, I started reading through my journal, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so ungrateful. Because God really has blessed me with everything that I asked him for. I asked him to get me approved to school so I could get my bachelor's degree. I graduated in June. I asked him for a scholarship. I got approved for my scholarship 30 days before my funding for my school was like done with. You know what I'm saying? I asked him for a car. He blessed me with a car. I asked him for a roof over me and my kids' head. That was ours. He blessed me with that. And I have been asking him to help me to steward the things that I have, so that way I can be ready for the things that I want in the future, and so that I could be ready for the blessings that he has aligned for me. Y'all, I never realized how ungrateful I was, because I've been praying to God like, you're not answering me. And I went through this journal and I read everything in this journal, y'all, and I am like, I literally just broke down and apologized to God and thanked him for everything, because with everything that I asked for, he has provided for me. And honestly, I really had every intention to come on here and share my testimony with y'all. And I know I started crying, and I guess that is the testimony pretty much. Like, yeah, that's really it. So thanks for listening. If you listen, bye.